going to start the memorial prayer, we're going to ask all of you to light your candles. Before we do that, I just wanted to mention one thing I just heard. The Jewish National Fund, which is represented here tonight, is planting a forest in honor of Chabad of Poway, 1,000 trees in Israel. And this is the way of our people. We plant seeds today to bear fruit tomorrow. Thank you to Jewish National Fund. Rabbi Leader.
Let's all join together in a song that I think everybody knows. You know it in Hebrew, we'll sing it in English. The whole wide world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. The whole wide world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. But the main thing to recall is to have no fear at all. But the main thing to recall is have no fear at all. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od. Ve'ha'ikar, ha'ikar, lo lefachek, lo lefachek, ve'ha'ikar, ve'ha'ikar, lo lefachek, lo. This time we'd like to recite the traditional memorial prayer, Kel Mali Rachmim. Got it. For Lori. El Malay Rachamim, Shaychein Bamrahimim, Amatzei Melechan Nechayna, Al Kanfei Hashchina, B'malois Kedoshim Utahirim, Kezoyaraki Yamazhirim, Es Nishmas Leah Bas Ruven, Shalcha Loilama, Bavur Shmnodvu Tzedaka, Badaskaras Nishmasa, B'gan Eden Tiyeh Menuchasa, Lachein Balarachamim, Yasireh B'seisek Dafav Li'olamim, B'tzror, B'tzror Achaim Es Nishmasa, Adonai Hu Nachalasa, V'sanuach HaMishkal V'shalom, V'noimar Amen. O God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant perfect rest upon the wings of the Shekhinah, the divine presence, in the exalted spheres of the holy and pure, who shine as the resplendence of the firmament to the soul of Leah, the daughter of Reuven, Lori K., who has gone to her supernal world. For charity has been donated in remembrance of her soul. May her place be in rest in Gan Eden, in paradise. Therefore, may the All-Merciful One bless her, shelter her with the shelter of comfort, and may she be blessed with Amen.
I would now like to call up Mr. Sam Hoffman, who is a longtime member of Chabad of Poway. When the president of Chabad of Poway When we feel pain, we call out to God. The great King David wrote a book called Psalms. In Hebrew, it's called Tehillim. And these words, these holy words, are meant to fill us with comfort at difficult times.
I'm going to recite Psalm 20 on behalf of by King David, on behalf of my dear friend Lori Kay. Her soul should be a blessing to all of us. On behalf of the wounded, who they should heal and be a strength for many years to come, and all the survivors, including my dear lovely wife who were in the synagogue at the time, that we should all go from strength and face terrorism. I'm going to read it first in Hebrew, the Lashon HaKodesh, the holy language, and then I'm going to read it in English. It applies, as you'll see, deeply to us. Lam natsek mizmor l'David, yan chadanoi b'yom tzara, yisagevka Shem Elohei Yaakov, yishlach ezraka mikodesh u'mitzion yisadecha, yizkur kal menuchosecha v'yolasaska yadash tesela, yitain l'chal kevovecha v'chal atsaska yamale, Niran anav Yeshua secha u'Shem Elohei nidgo, yamale Adonai ki mishalosecha, ati yadati ki hoshi Adonai mishticho, Yeancha Meshe Kadsho, Bivros Yesha Yemenu, Eile Berechem, Eile Vasusim, Vanachne V'Shem Adonai Eloheinu Nazkir, Hei Makaru V'Nafalu V'Nachanu Kamadu V'Nisodad, Adonai Hoshia, Hamelech Yanenu V'Yom Korenu. Now I'll read it in English. A psalm by David. May God answer you on the day of distress. May the name of Jacob's God make you impregnable. May he dispatch your help from the sanctuary and support you from Zion. May he remember all your offerings and consider your burnt sacrifices generous. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill your every plan. May we sing for joy at your salvation and raise our banner in the name of our God. May God fulfill all your requests. Now I know that God has saved his anointed one. He will answer him from his sacred heaven with the omnipotent victories of his right arm. Some with chariots and some with horses, but we, in the name of the Lord our God, call out. They slumped and fell, but we arose and were invigorated. God save us. May the King answer us on the day we call.
I want you to notice something. You're all holding candles. It's also a little breezy. So it's easy for your candle to be blown out. So I notice some of you are using your neighbors to shield the candle flame so it doesn't go out. And I was just thinking, is this not demonstrative sometimes of humanity? We have to shield each other from the wind sometimes so we don't blow out. At this point, it is my honor and privilege to call forward Rabbi Yonah Fradkin, who is the director of all of the Chabad houses here in San Diego County, who came 40 years ago, Rabbi Fradkin? But who's counting, he says. And he found not much in the way of Jewish life, and he's built up through his vision and strength a network of Chabad centers throughout the county, including Chabad of Poway, and who has a wonderful, amazing school just a few miles down the road on Pomerado Road for Jewish children to learn about their heritage. I've watched Rabbi Fradkin since this tragedy unfolded, and he has been a pillar of strength. He's known what to do. He's known what to say. Everyone leans on him. And so we're very, very privileged and blessed to have him this evening, and he's going to share a few words now. Rabbi Fradkin.
Please don't believe everything Rabbi Alford said. I would just like to mention that we look amongst the crowd over here, and all those who have been involved in Chabad of Poway really expect someone right here in the center, some bubbly individual being there to each and every one of you and hugging and kissing and telling you how much she loves you and how good it is to see you, Lori Kay. Lori was literally a pillar. Wherever she was not silent. She was felt, and her love was felt by everyone as well. So I'm looking for her in the room, and I have a feeling that she's under the heavens. She's here. She's definitely here with us as well. I'd like to just mention that Chabad of Poway is a very special center. Poway is a very special place, and just looking over here within several hours to be able to gather a crowd of this magnitude. And we came from the highway when you saw people walking for miles because there was no place to park, walking to come and to be here, to show their dedication, to show their solidarity, and to show Rabbi Goldstein and the wonderful congregation that we are one. No matter what color, no matter what creed, no matter what religion, no matter what diversities we have, we are one nation and we love each other. And this crowd is a crowd filled of beautiful people. Each and every one of you is precious. And we mean it seriously. And if the world would realize how much better it is to be good than to be bad, to follow goodness and kindness rather than to follow people who are evil and try to find destruction. Guns have never been part of synagogue life. Unfortunately, today, it's a time of protection and watching for each other, etc., in every way we can. Rabbi Goldstein is a unique rabbi. We have seen him today immediately after surgery and actually even right after the tragedy. Where does one find a rabbi like Rabbi Goldstein? And the community really has to be very proud of having such a leader among us. But the message that Rabbi Goldstein really brings is a message of you can never do anything to destroy what's within us. We have a power. We call it in Hebrew, it's the neshama, the soul. The soul of every individual is so powerful, and you know why? Because it's connected above and not connected below. We come from a higher power, and I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting the rabbi and showing him the love and caring as much as you do. And I know that there's this GoFundMe page, and there's all kinds of things that are being done to make sure and to assure that the Jewish community of Poway is going to be a very strong one. Chabad has always been strong, but will be that much stronger from here on as well. With Rabbi Goldstein as the head, we know that we will never be defeated. We will always succeed. So may God bless each and every one of you. And we thank all of the leaders. We have many wonderful rabbis here in the community. We have many communal leaders. We have many officials. I also just want to take a second to say there's one individual over here who I think has worked harder than any of all of us together, and that's Jordan Marks. Where are you, Jordan? Jordan came running to our synagogue in Scripps Ranch, saying that the synagogue was closed, there weren't any prayer books. He came running to say, can we have prayer books to bring over there? The Havdalah service, he ran to get wine for the Havdalah service. And all the political people that are here, he is an employee of the city of San Diego, and he really is a servant of the people of San Diego. So we are very fortunate to have you, Jordan, here with us, and we thank you for everything that you've done. Rabbi Alford, please to continue the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi Fratkin, for those inspiring words. We're very honored and privileged to...
I thought this was the last place in the world I wanted to be. But now that I'm here, there's no place I would rather be. Surrounded by this loving community. This community always amazes me. How they wrap their arms around one another in times of tragedy. I just want you to know, whoever you are, wherever you're from, God loves you, and we love you. And especially tonight for the Chabad of Poway, I want to say again, we love you, we will stand with you now and forever.
Thank you, Mayor Voss, for those beautiful words, heartfelt words. There's a Hasidic tradition that words that come from the heart enter the heart, and I know that my heart just palpitated a little faster. Thank you so much. We're also honored to be joined tonight by Senator Jones, State Senator Jones, who's going to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Rabbi. On the way up here, I had the opportunity to listen to Rabbi Goldstein's words this afternoon. And when he closed with, this might be a time in America when we need to reinstitute in schools the tradition of a moment of silence in recognition of our Creator and the children that are created by the Creator, to recognize that. I think those are the most powerful words I've heard this weekend, and I agree with you 100%. I'll be traveling to Sacramento tomorrow. About the same time that you're having your memorial service, we'll be opening our session, and I'll be making sure that I speak with the President Pro Tem and my Senate colleagues, that we also have a moment of silence and adjourn in memory of your fallen sister tomorrow. This is not the first time that my family's been touched by this kind of tragedy. In March of 2001, my sister's brother was on the, or my wife's brother was on the campus of Santana High School and witnessed that tragedy on that day. And as we learned in our community there, and you're learning here today, and as the rabbi has shared many times, I think the only thing I can share tonight that I hope will provide some encouragement are some words from Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And Poway, you are showing a great power of love today to your community. I applaud you for that. I thank you for that. Thank you for taking care of this great rabbi and this great community, Chabad of Poway. And we love you, as the mayor said, and anything that we can do to support you, we will. Our church this morning had a moment of silence. Pastor David Jeremiah is touched by this event and gives you his prayers and support, and anything that our congregation can do for your congregation, please let us know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Jones. I told you the weatherman is now weighing in. Before we go further and call forward our guest of honor, Rabbi Goldstein, I want to point out that my colleagues have gone ahead. In Chabad, we have a saying. When you have a gathering of people together, people who want to do something good, people who join together in a spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood, the meeting has to come out with a bechein. Bechein. You can try and say it if you want. It doesn't hurt. Bechein. That means a therefore. What am I going to do with these feelings I feel? What am I going to do with the pain? What am I going to do with the inspiration? We're in the world of action here, which calls upon us to try and find a positive way, a positive vehicle to express those feelings. So I'm holding in my hand a mitzvah card. The Hebrew word mitzvah means divine commandment. And we believe that through doing mitzvot, through doing the divine commandments, acts of kindness and love between people, human being to human being, that's what's going to change the world from a place of darkness to a place of light. So I'd invite you to, if you can find one, find a mitzvah card, fill out your name. We're asking for mitzvahs in honor of Lori Kay's memory. Maybe consider, we light candles on Friday night. The women light candles on Friday night. She can't light the candles this week. You should light the candles. Rabbi Goldstein is injured in his hands. So men, maybe you should consider putting on the tefillin. And all sorts of mitzvahs, all sorts of commandments we can do. Maybe you could just help a neighbor. You can think of things too. Find a mitzvah card and please participate. Vote early and vote often with your mitzvahs. Now it is my privilege, and indeed it's a relief, to call forward my colleague of 3 decades, who's demonstrated together with his wife, Devorah, they've created a dynamic community, a beautiful community, a place where many, many thousands of lives have been touched locally. Rabbi Goldstein, as I said before, he's a trooper's trooper. Obviously, nothing can hold this man down. And so we need to draw inspiration from him and listen to his words of wisdom and inspiration. Rabbi Goldstein.
Wow, wow, wow. Look at the love. Look at the warmth. 24 hours ago, I was in surgery, a 4-hour surgery, trying to save one index finger and losing the other finger. To what? Tonight, we are all together. I look around here. My wife and I has been here for 33 years in Poway. We planted our roots here, and we made this city our home. When my wife and I came here, we wanted to make a difference for the Poway community. And we opened up our center. In 1986, we bought this empty lot, and through the amazing generosity of the local members of the Poway Rancho Bernard community, we began with trailers, and then we embarked on building a building. Our former city manager, Mr. Jim Bower-Sachs, was so impressed with how my wife and I, young pioneers, came here from Brooklyn, New York to make a difference, that he dedicated the street name Chabad Way. And the reason was to show the concept of rebirth. Our mission was to take from the sadness of the Holocaust, where many people have lost the faith and has gone astray, to rekindle it. And Poway was committed to that rebirth. From 1996 until 2 days ago, this building was a building that was a light unto the nations, with a thriving preschool, a synagogue, a friendship circle serving children with special needs. It was all about what can we do for others. It was all about inviting our neighbors of all faiths to do something kindness, to be there for each other. We open up our doors to our fellow churches when they need an overflow space. The churches next door to us share their furniture with us when we have a program. The unity that I see here tonight, of all across the board, from all religions, from all different backgrounds, but we are all created in the image of God. You're listening to a rabbi that today could have been my funeral. What happened on Saturday morning, the unthinkable, the unfathomable, where I faced death face to face. During services, I walked out. I met Lori Kay in the lobby. She came there because her mother passed away recently, and she wanted to attend the memorial service. Her daughter, Hannah, came down from UCLA to be with her mother for the memorial services. She asked me what time it is going to be, that she wants to honor her mother. I told her it would be at 11:30. I went to my office to freshen up. I come out and I see her. We nod to each other, we smile to each other, and I walk towards our banquet hall to wash my hands in preparation for the service, when I heard this horrific noise. I thought it was a table went down, something may have happened, Lori may have fallen, and I turn around in a split second, and I see the worst sight that you ever could imagine this man standing with a rifle, pointing point blank at me. I don't know what to do. I'm looking for Lori. I don't know what happened to her. And he starts shooting right towards me. I lift up my hands to protect my face. Lost my right index. Badly injured my left hand index. I realize there's an active shooter right here, right now. What must I do now? I turn around where all the children were gathered in the banquet hall. And I gathered them and I ushered them outside. Amongst those children was my 4.5-year-old granddaughter. And my 3-year-old grandson was sleeping in his carriage. Bullets are flying all over. And I'm shouting and screaming for everyone to get out. And my granddaughter looks at me and saying, "Grandpa, why are you bleeding? Why are you screaming?" We safely got all the children out. A miracle of all miracles that the gun, the rifle, jammed. At that moment when it jammed, Oscar, a former army soldier, jumped into the action, took a chair, and threw it at the murderer, at the terrorists. Another Border Patrol off-duty agent jumped into the action, grabbed the gun, and pursued the shooter, who ran away into his car. The Border Patrol agent was able to get off a few shots. But eventually, to our excellent work of our Sheriff Department and our Police Department, this murderer, this terrorist, was caught right away, right here in Rancho Bernardo. I turned around and I went to assess the situation. And what I saw, I will never forget. I saw Lori Kay lying on the ground unconscious, and her husband Howard, trying to do CPR on her, fainted. And their daughter Hannah came in screaming, "Mommy, Daddy." And I'm thinking to myself, this is not supposed to happen. This isn't Nazi Germany. This isn't a program. This is right here, Poway. This is our home. This building that we built is supposed to be full of love. This building that we built was supposed to be able to share kindness and love with each other. What is happening? I went outside and I found my congregation huddled together on the sidewalk. My finger was dripping profusely from blood. I got up on a chair and I shout to everyone. I said, "Am Yisrael Chai." We, the Jewish nation, are alive and will remain alive. Nothing can take us down. Nothing will take us down. The paramedics arrived. They wanted to take me away to the hospital. And I said, not until everyone is accounted for. And I looked around at my congregants, our fellow Poway members. I looked around. They were just in total shock, frightened, and total chaos of what just happened. It happened so quick. But we stood up there and we said, you know what? We're going to grow from this. Nothing terrible happens as long as you stay on the same spot. We need to move off this spot. As I got to the hospital, I was surrounded by a group of surgeons, doctors who attended to my wounds immediately. I had no idea how bad the wounds were. I had no idea that I was going to lose my finger, but I was alive. The bullets flew by my head, flew by my hands. I didn't know what was coming my way. But one thing I did know is that God spared me. And it made me think about this. Every single one of us, when we go to sleep at night, and we wake up the next morning, ask the same question I asked myself. Why am I alive? Why did I survive this? And the answer is because each one of us are created in God's image, and each one of us has a mission in life to accomplish. We are all partners with God. And God, when He brought us to this world, and that day He said, the world can no longer exist without you. So each one of us can do something good. We are standing here right now at Valley Verde Park, in the heart of Poway, surrounded by hundreds of wonderful people that I don't know, that you don't know me, but you came out here because you have a heart, you have a soul, and you're here to comfort us in this incredible, incredible tragedy. Because what happened to us happened to all of us. Your comfort by being here tonight brings me an amazing consolation. About 5 o'clock this afternoon, I got a phone call. It was the White House. I first thought it was someone making a prank call, trying to cheer me up, and said that Donald Trump wants to talk to you. And I said, really? I says, put him through. He says, hold on 1 minute. And the President of the United States of America was on the other line. He was so comforting. He brought amazing consolation. I had 15-minute conversation. He spoke to me like a friend, like a colleague. He spoke to me like he felt for me, for my anguish and pain. We spoke about why is there so much anti-Semitism. And we spoke about what can we do to change that. And he asked me for my idea. And I shared with him the idea of a moment of silence in our public schools. It used to be that in our public schools, children would be required to pray every morning. And then they stopped that. My Rebbe, Rabbi Schneerson, the Grand Chabad Rebbe, right after Ronald Reagan was shot, he came up with this idea and saying we need to reintroduce a moment of silence in the public school system. Children need to start the day off thinking about the greater good, thinking about the Creator, thinking about that there's a deity, there's a God, there's accountability, that humans are images of God. We need to respect each other, love each other, and care for each other. And the President listened to every word I said. And he was so generous and so kind with his words that it really, really helped us begin the healing process. I pray and I hope that we could accomplish this, perhaps with the Poway School District, and perhaps with San Diego School District, we can get this happening. This is the concept of pushing away darkness with light. A little bit of light pushes away a lot of darkness. A lot of light will push away a ton of darkness. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock will be the funeral of Lori Kay. I can't even say the words. Lori Kay, for those of you who've known her, she was the example of kindness to the fullest extent. She was the one who would always be the one to bring joy and happiness to every life cycle of any member in the congregation. About 18 years ago, one of our members' wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. Lori made it her mission to accompany this woman to every single oncology visit. She went out of her way until the moment that that woman passed away. A couple weeks ago, our youngest daughter got married. Lori and her husband flew to New York to dance with us at our daughter's wedding just 2 weeks ago. This is what Lori Kay was about. She was more about giving than taking. And she did it with such a smile. You can call it an activist. You can call it a person who's extraordinary. She lived an extraordinary life. She had an amazing spirit to her, an amazing attitude in life, that truly one of a kind. Those of us who knew her closely, because she became close to everybody, we cannot accept her death as a death. We cannot accept this loss. It just shattered our hearts. But one thing we do know, Howard, her husband, is in my house right now. He was over for dinner, and he told me, when you go to the vigil, the funeral is not going to be about her loss. The funeral is going to be about her life. We're going to celebrate her life. We don't want to see any tears or sobbing, because that's what the enemy wants. They want to see us hurt. But when we can demonstrate a spirit of renewal, a spirit of commitment of doing greatness and kindness to the world, that is going to be her greatest memorial. So I take this opportunity right now to thank everyone here for really being here tonight, being here to support us, the Jewish community, because we are all children of God. You have truly demonstrated true unity, and may God accept this as a blessing to every single one of us here, that we should be blessed with long life, great health, and may we celebrate many happy times together. All those that were injured should be healed, and all of us that have been hurt emotionally, all of us that were hurt psychologically should be healed, that Poway and San Diego and the whole United States of America worldwide should no longer know of any sorrow or pain. And let's make a difference. Let's bring a lot of light to the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rabbi Goldstein, for demonstrating faith in God and faith in humanity. Both components are very, very important. Speaking of thank you, I also, on behalf of my colleagues here, wanted to thank law enforcement here in San Diego County. The men and women of law enforcement are true heroes that we can look to for inspiration, for protection. They deserve our respect, our cooperation, our blessings, and our thanks. So thank you to all the law enforcement officers here tonight, making sure we're all safe. Earlier today, the Chabad rabbis of San Diego gathered together in our headquarters in Scripps Ranch, where Rabbi Fratkin convened a meeting, and he reminded us all of something very important, and that is the rabbis here are really, we're here for you. I know you're here for us, but we're here for you, and I want you to keep that in mind. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, or if you feel like you need suggestions about good deeds that you can do, that's what we are here for. And we are happy and joyful to be able to interact and get to meet you and get to know you and so on. I just wanted to throw that out there for your consideration. Finally, I wanted to announce that the memorial service is tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Chabad of Poway, down the street on Chabad Way. And the funeral is tomorrow at 4 p.m. at El Camino Memorial, which is Sorrento Valley. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. We began with song, and we're going to end with song, a song of hope and prayer. Hope and prayer for peace from the Almighty, that all of us, all of humanity should be blessed with peace. I'd like to call my colleague again, Rabbi Moshe Lieder, to lead us in Oseh Shalom.
It's all about peace, it's all about love, and it's all about kindness. That's really what it's all about, isn't it? So let's all sing together. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru. Everybody join together. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael.
I would like to call forward again the mayor and senator to lead us in a rousing chorus of God Bless America. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Senator, please make your way forward. Put on your singing voices now, gentlemen.
You're the Grammy Award-winning singer, not me, so I'll follow your lead.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you. Finally, we're going to have one more speaker, Janice Griffin, who is a special friend of Rabbi Goldstein. She'll explain how and why in just a couple of words. Janice.
He only gave me a couple minutes, so I got to hurry because everybody tells me to be quiet because I talk a lot. I'm one of 11, born and raised Catholic. My parents, my dad, German, Irish Catholic, my mom, Polish, Czechoslovakian Catholic. I've known Rabbi Goldstein for 40 years. I know all his kids. I know the boys. I know your daughter. I know your wife. I worked at Bank of America, and that's how we met him. And anytime I needed business, I'd go, Rabbi, can you refer somebody to me? So he'd refer all the other rabbis at all the other churches, and I opened all their bank accounts at Bank of America. Well, then I left Bank of America and went to Wells Fargo. Here comes Rabbi Goldstein at Wells Fargo in Forest Ranch. Rabbi, I need more business. Can you give me more business? And he did. My grandson, Mark Van Hatten, went to Rabbi's school for 2 years. And I had gone through some depression. I actually worked for the Catholic Church for 3.5 years. But I worked for Baxter Laboratories. I worked for Pitney Bowes. I worked for Bank of America, and I worked for Wells Fargo. Rabbi was going to hire me, but then he found somebody that was going to do it cheaper than I did. We know about money, don't we, Rabbi? So I didn't go to work for him, but I came up with ideas. He wanted me to be his fundraiser to help him raise the monies. Because at St. Michael's Church, I helped build a school. I helped build a Holy Family Center of $8 million. I helped rebuild a Catholic church when it burned down over 25 years ago. Rabbi Goldstein and the Jewish community was there and gave us money to support the rebuilding of our Catholic church. I just want to say, when I saw Rabbi on the TV yesterday talking about depression, I know what he meant, because I was in the hospital for 11 days. And can somebody hold this? God is talking to me, and I've decided that God put you and I together 40 years, because you and I are going to save the world, honey. And I forgot. When I came here, I gave him a big hug, and I'm not allowed to do that. And all the other rabbis were going, Janice, you can't do that. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Because he's the strict Jewish. Because I know there's another Jewish parish across from the other in Poway. What's the name of it? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to tell you about this, and then I'm done. Okay? This is about Poway, Chabad. I made this. I make homemade caramels. And in this box, I have 13 caramels. And I came up with this idea today after I saw you on the TV, because it's all about depression and how are we going to cure the depression that's going on in the world, in our schools, with our kids. This boy is 19 years old. If he had Jesus in his heart, he wouldn't have had a gun. I teach second grade religious ed at St. Michael's. Rabbi, there's a butterfly on here. Your hands are shaped like cocoons. Everybody listen to this. When a butterfly is in a cocoon, it's trying to get out. If the butterfly gets out too soon, it dies. You're going to heal when it's time. And when the cocoon comes out, what happens, Rabbi? It flies away free. And these, what it says, hold on, I'm not done, guys. I know I talk a lot. This says, Caramel Delights, a butterfly to heal the depression. These are for people to buy and help heal the depression here in Poway.
God bless you. Thank you. And finally, I wanted to acknowledge a very, very special guest. We have a very special guest here. Noya Dahan. This young lady, very brave young lady here. She was wounded yesterday, and today she's here with us. This is bravery. Am Yisrael Chai, everybody. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Almog is also here. Almog was also shot, and he's here in his leg, and here he is. Look at this brave man. Look at this brave man. Okay, I think, and he saved a room filled with children. So he's brave and he's a hero. I think we're ready to wrap up the program this evening. I think God has told us a message. He's turned off the lights. I would like to conclude as we started with the song, and this is a song of should be blessed with the era that's all going to be peaceful, and all the hatreds is going to finally go away. Finally, Mashiach will come. Finally, we will be able to live together in brotherhood and sisterhood in peace. Rabbi Leader, please lead us in Oseh Shalom. Again, I'm sorry, we did that one. I got the wrong list. We're going to sing. I'm going to call my colleague, Rabbi Shalom Buzna from Chabad of SDSU, to lead us in a song that they like to sing in France.
Am Yisrael, have no fear, Mashiach will be here this year. Am Yisrael, have no fear, Mashiach will be here this year. Am Yisrael, have no fear, Mashiach will be here this year. We want Mashiach now, we want Mashiach now, we don't want to wait. We want Mashiach now, we want Mashiach now, we don't want to wait. Am Yisrael, have no fear, Mashiach will be here this year. Am Yisrael, have no fear, Mashiach will be here. We want Mashiach now, we want Mashiach now, we want Mashiach now, we don't want to wait. Hey, we want Mashiach now, we want Mashiach now, we want Mashiach now, we don't want to wait.
Look at Rabbi Bushna, he wasn't even expecting that. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for turning out in support of Chabad of Poway, and in support of Rabbi Goldstein, in support of each other. God bless all of you, and may we only join together in the future for simchas. You know what that means? Joyous occasions. Thank you, everybody, for being here. God bless.
To the car? Okay. The van. All right. We're going to interview them. Okay.